base price of the Tesla Model Y vehicle is at a 30 lakh rupees. The on-road price will be at least double, around 61 lakh rupees. So this is the base price. These are the taxes, and this is the on-road price of the vehicle, which makes it almost double. The import tax is 70%, GST at 28%, and compensation says up to 22%. That's as far as the taxes are concerned, which makes it extremely expensive, is what many are saying. But viewers, also look at where these vehicles are coming from. 51% of all Tesla electric vehicles are manufactured in China. About 9.5 lakh Model 3 and Model Y vehicles are produced in China annually. And 100% of all Model Y vehicles that will be sold in India are being imported from China. Naturally, this has led opposition to raise several questions. This is in fact what the opposition leaders are saying. They're saying that as far as these particular vehicles are concerned, the customers will be paying 29 lakh rupees in tax to the government of India. They also go on to say that prime example of how BJP is looting India in the name of tax. They further added that customers are paying more for made-in-China cars and have added that the duty has been customized for Tesla vehicles. They've further gone on to say that no manufacturing but access to India at custom duty has been given. Now, there are others in the opposition who say that it was the centre that created unnecessary roadblocks to Tesla's entry and pushed forward their debut in India by at least 4 years. Maharashtra Chief Minister Fadnavis, however, has countered the criticism, saying that the showroom is just a start and that as and when Tesla decides to manufacture in India, he hopes it will be in Maharashtra.
अरे बाबा, एक गाड़ी की कंपनी की शोरूम है. अच्छी बात है कि एक इलेक्ट्रिक कार की शोरूम आ रही है. और अगर केंद्र सरकार, अगर आपको याद होगा, कस्टम्स ड्यूटी और इस पे अगर बहस नहीं करती तो 2021 में ही आती है टेस्ला की शोरूम.
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में महाराष्ट्र लीडर बन चुका है. हमारी जो चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की पॉलिसीज है, हमारी जो टैक्सेस की पॉलिसीज है, और हम लोग महाराष्ट्र में जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का इंसेंटिव दे रहे हैं, ये सारी चीजें ग्लोबल प्लेयर्स को अट्रैक्ट कर रही है. और मुझे विश्वास है कि आने वाले दिनों में टेस्ला की पूरी इकोसिस्टम ये हमको भारत में और विशेष रूप से महाराष्ट्र में देखने को मिलेगी.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our panelists now, Tuhin Sinha, and with us Ashwini Kumar Mishra from debate number 1. But joining us on the show are Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena. We also have with us Professor Monojit Mandal, political analyst. But let me begin with Anish Gadave, who's a Shiv Sena UBT spokesperson. Anish, my question to you, what's the primary objection? The fact that the vehicle is too expensive or the fact that it's made in China?
See, there is no objection. We always welcome to the outsiders, whatever the investment which is coming in Maharashtra specifically, India, and then Maharashtra and Mumbai specifically. It's an economical hub of India. But where is Make in India? Can we see Make in India somewhere? Because just now you said that 51% of the manufacturing is from the China. We are importing these vehicles from the China. There is nowhere Make in India. It's not that is not just a shop. It's a dealership shop just. Everything we are importing from the outside and from the China. That's strange. And our chief minister, the state head, is going there and inaugurating that shop, that dealership shop, wherein 30 lakhs, suppose let's take an example of Y grade, Y model, that basic model of Tesla vehicle. 30 lakhs, let's assume that 30 lakhs will be there in India because it's our taxes. Okay. But what about those remaining 30 lakhs? It's going out. It's going out from the state, from the country.
But Mr. Gadave, why is this objection only in the case of Tesla? There are bigger luxury car makers who don't manufacture in India. There are other electric car makers like BYD who don't manufacture in India. Why is there no objection then? Why suddenly? Because Tesla is high profile to object.
It's not about only Tesla. It's for all those companies who are not manufacturing in India. And specifically, if you have heard about...
So each of those launches you should have objected. Did your party object to each of those launches?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that?
Each of those companies entering India, you should have objected by the same yardstick. I don't remember your party coming out and objecting at each of those launches.
Because if you have heard right now, because it came in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and we were there at that time, and that was our nearby spaces. So that's the reason you heard about Tesla only.
Krishna Hegde, we are in Maharashtra, we know about what's happening in Mumbai, and therefore we are objecting. What happens in other cities and other states, we don't know about. But to the best of my knowledge, I'm sure many of these luxury car makers would actually be there or present in Mumbai.
Although you have to give me 2-3 minutes, I want to counter all their charges. Firstly, I must tell you that when investment comes into Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray party is extremely unhappy. And that we can see from this episode. Secondly, that means they are anti-development. When investment is out of Maharashtra, they blame the government in Maharashtra and say the investment has not come to Maharashtra. So these are double standards. Secondly, I think they were just trying to cash in on some free publicity during the launch of Tesla. When one of the world's biggest companies and the world's richest man chooses Mumbai and Maharashtra to do a platform investment, these people are unhappy and they are talking about progress. Secondly, let me tell you, even during the Congress regime, the import duty on imported cars not made in India was 110%, which is far more than now. And most cars even today attract a tax duty of 60 to 100%. Now the third charge was we are not promoting EV cars. Let me tell you the list. You have the Tata Motors, which has got 3 or 4 variants. Then you have Mahindra, you have got Morris Garage, you have Hyundai, you've got BYD, you have got Ether, you got Hero, you got Ola Electric, you've got Bajaj, you got TVS.
Okay, you don't have to name
and
them
these
all.
are all electric vehicles.
Yeah.
These are all electric vehicles. So I don't know which world these people are living in. Either they are very ignorant of what is happening in India. I just want to oppose for the sake of opposing.
Okay.
And the third thing, let me tell you that not today we have got the showroom of Tesla. Tomorrow we'll have the manufacturing. And this company of Mr. Musk has already got Starlink into India.
Okay.
And they're collaborating with all our local partners.
Let me bring in Professor Mandal on that. No, Professor Mandal,
everything.
Yeah, a number of points you made. Now, allow others to come in. Professor Mandal, important points being made over here. The import duty in the ballpark of around 100% is not something new. We know that's the duty for all imported cars. So why is there an objection to that? Number two, Mr. Musk has already come in through Starlink, and perhaps this is the first step to getting in his investment as a manufacturer. So why are we trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater is the question that many are asking. Your response, Professor Mandal.
So I don't think the whole issue, I think, is becoming problematized because of the exorbitant amount of not just taxes, even the base price of this car, keeping in mind the middle class Indian market. This car, I think, when you are giving them the space, you should think about the market of the country that you are coming from.
But that's up to the manufacturer.
Forget about your
pseudo-nationalistic
endeavor of Make in India. That's what, because the government is giving them the space. We thought initially, when 4 or 5 years ago the talks were on, we thought that this car will be made in India.
Okay.
And the price would be barely 30 to 35 lakhs.
Okay.
That's what we came to know about. I mean, the people who thought about having their hands on this particular car. And forget about, you're talking about other electric vehicles. None of these electric vehicles, name the companies, I'm not naming the companies. None of these electric vehicles are going up to 60 lakhs. They're all hovering around 20-25 lakhs at the most, right? So I think this keeps creating the whole problem.
That's not factually true. Many are at the price point that you said, but there are several luxury cars which are more. But I take your point of manufacturing India. Let me take that across to the BJP spokesperson. Professor Mandal and the other opposition parties' biggest problem is that we were told that this is a vehicle that would be made in India, but it's not being made in India. And because it's not being made in India, the consumers have to dish out a higher price for it. At the end of the day, what's to celebrate about a made-in-China vehicle? Your response, Tweet.
You know, Madhav, this opposition is completely confused. The government's job is to encourage manufacturing of electrical vehicles in India, not to regulate the price of a foreign manufactured car in India, which wants to come to India despite knowing that it will be at a disadvantage because of the lower priced Indian electrical vehicles. Now, have we done our job? In the last 11 years, a series of measures have been taken to encourage EV production, which includes, the charging infrastructure, which includes research and development, which includes reduced GST on purchase of electrical vehicles, which includes, policies like FAME, all of which have resulted in 1.53 million sales of electrical vehicles in 2023, which today accounts for roughly 2.5% of the total cars sold. And in the next 5 or 6 years, we are hoping that this will go up to about 15% of the total cars sold. So I think the government has done a fairly good job on that front. Now, when it comes to Tesla, if Tesla is priced at 65 lakhs and a high-end Mahindra EV can be procured at 25 lakhs, obviously, the Indian customer will go for an Indian-made car. So why are they unnecessarily worried about Tesla if Tesla is going to learn the hard way and subsequently manufacture in India? I think this opposition is thoroughly confused. They just wanted their share of glory, during the during the launch of this showroom, and they seem to have got that.
Professor Mondal.
No, I think then why are you giving him the space? Frankly speaking, your Make India pseudo-nationalistic endeavor is completely forgotten here.
It's not for free.
Ask them to make the car in India. What is your problem? You give them land, you give them infrastructure. Ask them to make the car in India. Mahindra, Tata, they're all making electric vehicles in India, right? So what is the problem of this,
Which space are you talking about? Professor Mondal, they've bought a showroom.
Undue advantage.
They've bought a showroom. Anybody can buy a showroom at commercial rates. Where's the issue?
Madhav,
is it a government subsidized land that they've bought?
Can I respond to this, please?
One second. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
but we know it very well that they are gradually entering Indian car market.
Okay, one by one. One by one. This is a very important subject. One by one. Tuin wants to respond to you, then I'll go across to others. Tuin.
Once again, even after, specifically pointing out what the opposition is not able to understand over here, see, there are two components to it. One, have we encouraged indigenous manufacturing of electrical vehicles? I gave you adequate examples to explain. Yes, we have. We cannot bar any foreign car manufacturer to come and set up a showroom over here. This is a free market. If they are paying the prices for, they are complying with the rules of with the laws of the land. If they are paying for setting up their showroom, who are we to stop them? We are living in an open market. They seem to be living in a communist and a Marxist era. This is what they are not understanding.
And Professor Mondal, I must ask you this, because Mamata Banerjee's Nandigram and Shingur agitations actually pushed the manufacturing of nano out of West Bengal into Gujarat. So, for the TMC to come out and say that, no, this is not correct, and this is, how manufacturers should be encouraged, etc., it's a bit ironic, isn't it not?
Good question. In both, Mr. Madhav, in both the cases, the Supreme Court of India had given Mamata their thumbs up, ultimately in the form of the verdict. That the land acquisition was wrong. But mind you, we had nothing to do with the car manufacturer. We had problems with forceful acquisition of land by the despotic government that you had. And it was ultimately approved by the Supreme Court of India.
Yes, so and after the Supreme Court's order, did everybody get the compensation? Were the Tatas, was everybody compensated, sir? Can you tell us how much money was given?
In the Land Acquisition Act, the Tata is very much, yes, Tata is very much coming to India. In fact, few days back, the Tata chairman
coming to India.
Meeting with
I'm asking about compensation. Direct, simple question. Compensation. Answer the question.
Impression of the yes. I mean, Tata is coming to Bengal.
I am asking about the compensation. I'm not asking if Tata is coming to Bengal. I'm asking, did you give the compensation to the landowners, to the companies?
Well, absolutely. Why should the company be giving the compensation? Why should the company give the compensation? They lost it. They lost the case in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
They lost the case in the Supreme Court, right?
Yes. But the
They
point...
lost, I mean, you are saying that 1,000 of they are investing only 1,500 crores, and then because of the government, they forcefully acquired the land by marauding over the farmer, by killing and raping one particular girl by the name of Tapasi Malik, which became...
There was no court order to give it back?
Farm movement in this
There was no court order to give it back, sir?
Everything was wrong. And that actually led to...
There was no court order to give it back?
The decimation of the longest serving communist regime in the country.
No, certainly. You took on the communist regime, you rode to power. But the point is, was that court order implemented? Twin, would you like to refresh Professor Mandal's memory? Twin.
Absolutely it was.
Well, he is suffering from selective amnesia. He is suffering from selective amnesia. That was one of the toughest moments for Ratan Tata. His dream car had to be shifted out of Bengal because of complete non-cooperation by both the government in Bengal and Mamata Banerjee, who was then in the opposition. So I think he's suffering from selective amnesia. And also, the way Modi ji expedited setting up of nano plant in Gujarat should be a case study which should be replicated time and again whenever it comes to strong and decisive decision making in setting up of new industries. He has followed the same process throughout the semiconductor. Modi ji has followed the same pattern in setting, in giving a major push to the semiconductor manufacturing in India. Unfortunately,
and I'm just going to, Professor Mandal, I have to go across to other panelists, but I just want to read out, and you can respond to this if you want. Sorry, Twin, I'm interrupting you, because this is what, has been reported in late 2023. This is a news report which talks about the state government against the direction of the West Bengal Industrial Development Corporation order to go and pay Tata Motors 776 crore rupees as compensation over losses incurred due to the scrapping of its car factory in Shingur. The state is mulling whether to challenge the order in Calcutta High Court or move the Supreme Court. So the state government is not in any mood to give compensation. Let's be clear about the facts, Professor Mandal.
Two things. First of all, Nano was a disaster, proven even in Gujarat. Everyone knows. Now it has been stopped by the company itself. Point number one. Point number two, my
land allotment rules is different, sir.
Know that Mr. L.K. Advani was the leader of the opposition at that point of time. No, hang on. L.K. Advani was the leader of the opposition. He supported the movement. He came to Bengal at that point of time. Does he mean to say that he was wrong? What are you talking about? And
whether he was right or wrong, we're talking about the compensation which is not paid. And the point is very simple. Well, it's very easy to preach to other states, following the example for manufacturers, particularly car manufacturers. One should perhaps lead by example. That's the simple point I'm making. But I want to take a completely different question on this entire note to Ashwini Kumar Mishra. Just a second, please. Professor Mandal, there are other panelists also. Ashwini Kumar Mishra hasn't gotten a chance to speak, and therefore I want to ask him. Ashwini Kumar Mishra, are you aware of a campaign that the current Chief Minister, Mr. Devendra Reddy, had launched against the BRS government for purchasing of 22 imported Toyota Land Cruiser vehicles? Do you know where those vehicles are today?
I'm not aware of that.
They're being used by the same cabinet of Mr. Devendra Reddy. So this is hypocrisy. You talk about, manufacturing in India, manufacturing in outside of India, and ultimately when it comes to implementation, it's the same double standards and hypocrisy. Why is Mr. Devendra Reddy and his cabinet using the same vehicles?
Madhav, allow me 30 seconds. I'll tell you the hypocrisy is. I partially agree to the twin that this is a free open market. Anyone can come to India, and we opened our doors from 1991. The problem is all this manufacturing is done in China, and we know that China is our primary enemy. China is our main enemy, even bigger than the Pakistan. So essentially, by allowing these entries, we are feeding our enemy. As in government, it is not good enough to just ban TikTok ban China. You need to take certain measures and ensure that either those manufacturing is done in India or at least not done in China, so that we don't feed our enemy. That is the biggest objection we have. If you are preaching that you are having a lot of talks with China, still we are at 1.2 billion, 120 billion trade deficit with China, and we are bringing in more, we are giving away more money to China. So that's the biggest question we are raising here. as a government, you should ensure that we don't feed our enemy. Either we manufacture, have capability to manufacture in our country, or at least
Ashwini,
give it
if
to
your
the
party comes to power
country
tomorrow, you are saying that all trade with China will be stopped. Nothing will be sold in India that's made in China. Is that what you're saying?
No, we should create an entry barriers. We should ensure that those entry barriers are in place. Banning TikTok is not good enough. We need to fight China. If we start feeding our enemy, eventually that money will be used against us only.
You know, I can just see the BJP spokesperson who's going to come out and say, then you should have thought very much before entering into agreements between Congress party and the Chinese government over there, the Chinese Communist Party. I can just, I'm sure Tuhin is just going to jump to that argument.
Mr. Jaishankar was there yesterday in China having those hugs and hashtags. So let's not get into what about.
So there should be no diplomatic missions also now. So you should stop trade and you're going to end diplomatic ties with China. That's the yardstick you're setting.
China ko lal aankh dikhayenge, and then you go and hug that. I don't understand the kind of diplomacy. Diplomacy without deterrence is useless.
Tuhin, quick response.
Come in here, please.
Well, we will never know the details of the secret MOU between Congress Party and CCP, but on a more, on a more present note, please understand that Tesla has many dimensions to it. Another property of Elon Musk, Starlink, is also linked with it. So please don't drub it as an entire Chinese entity. That's point number one. Also, if you recall, MG had made an entry in India many years ago, 7, 8 or 10 years ago, when MG Motors made its entry in India, a similar criticism was raised. But today, a majority stake in MG is owned by an Indian company. You would have the details if the Congress does not have. I'm sure Madhav, you would have the details. Jindal is one of the, I think, the majority stakeholder in that company. So we don't know what will be the future of Tesla in India. I still believe that Tesla will go in for indigenous manufacturing. It's a matter of time. I don't know why they have not been able to make up their mind. But I think, the opposition should stop being presumptuous. It should also stop being ignorant on issues like this. The EV manufacturing push in India has been unprecedented. It is growing every day.
Quick response from Krishna Hegde. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. Quick response from Krishna Hegde. We're almost out of time. Quick response, please.
No, Madhav, I would like to tell you that all the high-end companies which have come to India first tested the market, and now they have their manufacturing facilities in India. Okay. Several of them in Pune, and I don't want to name them like you said. Another thing they're talking about is Chinese. Is the technology Chinese or is it from Elon Musk company? And that is most important. So you cannot say this is a Chinese car. This is not a Chinese car.
Very important point. Yeah. 2 points at least. The technology is not from China. The technologies come from Elon Musk's company. Professor Mandal respond to that. And it is a fact that there are several big global car manufacturers who started making their cars maybe a decade and a half, 2 decades after they started selling cars in India. So they all need to test the market before they will sell. Professor Mandal.
So, yes, there lies the catch. Will they reduce the price then when they start manufacturing in India? The answer will be no. That's the way these companies are, capturing market in India. They'll first sell the cars through the,
if the import duty is removed, the price comes down, right?
The price will remain the same.
No, Professor Mandal, let's discuss this. If the import duty, if it's made in India, then that 70 or 100% of whatever it is, that gets removed. Doesn't the price come down automatically?
Cars price is going down in this country.
If it's made in India, then obviously the tax will not be applicable.
The car price is coming down because of their manufacturing in India.
Of course they will. You want to respond to that, Krishna Hegde? You want to respond to that?
I
think just because it's made in India, prices will not come down. That's his argument. Respond quickly.
I tell you, prices of cars go up. That is because of production cost and not because of taxation. And when the tax is reduced, obviously the price of Tesla will come down. I think it's a no-brainer.
All right, completely out of time. It's been an interesting debate. We'll have to see how things pan out here. Tuhin Sinha, Krishna Hegde, as well as Professor Manojit Mandal, Anish Gadave, as well as Ashwini Kumar Mishra. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.